Today, we're going to be talking about manga. But not just any manga. We're talking about spooky manga. And what better month to talk about this than October? Yeah, that's right. We're talking about creepy, horror, spooky mangas. But we're only going to talk about 3 of them because there are 3 that I want to talk about, and I feel that's just a good number to hit on for this video. Before we advance in this video, there are going to be a lot of spoilers. No, I'm not going to tell you every single thing that happens in these mangas, but I'm going to discuss the main basis, the main plot, maybe a little more to get you interested, but I'm not going to tell you everything. So if you're not okay with spoilers, then, you might want to leave the video. Also, I am by no means a anime or manga elitist, professor, or specialist. I'm just a man who likes his manga and likes watching anime. Although lately I've just been reading a lot more than watching. But if you are an anime elitist, like one of those dickheads, then just get the fuck out. Now really, I was just going to talk about these anyway, but it is October. Halloween's coming up, so this video is actually perfect. The thing is, I read a lot of horror manga. It's actually my favorite genre, so it's like, the fact that my first manga video is in October and it's about horror, it's just like, wow, great timing, Cryy. Anyway, I don't think this is going to be a regular thing. This is just some weird off-topic idea that I had that I wanted to share with you. So let's jump right into it. The first manga is Goblin Slayer. I'm kidding. This one is called The Promised Neverland. We're talking about this one first because I find this of the 3 mangas to be the most interesting and pretty much have the most story to it, the most depth, and also an anime is being made for this manga, so if you don't want to read it, then you can watch it. I don't know when, but let's hope that it's soon because this is great. I'm going to try to explain it without giving too many spoilers, but I'm going to explain pretty much the main plot of the manga and the main setup to what gets things going. So this is major spoilers, even though I'm trying not to spoil it that much. It's about a group of very, very happy children that live in an orphanage. There's not a stress in the world for these kids. Now, yes, they don't have parents, and of course that is sad, but they do have Mama. Mama takes care of the kids. She does everything. Now, the oldest kids of the orphanage are around 12 years old. Now, this manga begins and follows the 3 oldest children of the orphanage. Every day is pretty much the same cycle. The kids wake up, they eat really good breakfast, they take tests to exercise their brain and also get scored on how smart they are, how well they do. And then they have playtime. And then, the usual, I guess, eat, go to sleep, repeat. But they're raised by Mama to not have a stress in the world, to live good lives. So by the time they're adopted, they can say, I had a really, really good and happy life. Kids get adopted every once in a while, and when they get adopted, they're going to have foster parents. And it's pretty sad to leave all the other kids that they grew up with, but everyone's happy for them. It's like, you finally get to have a mom and dad. You get to leave the orphanage and live an even happier life. Yay, the kid, he's getting adopted. Yes. Well, spoilers coming up. One day, a little girl gets adopted, but leaves an item behind, and 2 of the oldest kids are like, we can't let her leave this behind, we'll never see her again, she needs this. Now, before I jump the gun, there are a couple rules that these kids have to follow, and these are the only rules that they have to follow. Don't go to the gate, and don't leave the forest. The gate is where kids are taken once they're adopted. Obviously, they get picked up at the gate, or they have to leave the gate to get out of the orphanage, but the children are told not to go here. Only if they're adopted do they get to go to the gate. Well, with the little girl being adopted and leaving one of her favorite items behind, the 2 older kids, like I said, they want to take it to her. So they sneak off to the gate to give her her item. But what do they find? Her dead body. She's dead in a wagon. Shortly after, they hear someone coming, and they know they are not allowed to be at the gate. So they hide. What do they see next? What they see next is... Gotcha, I'm not going to spoil this part for you, but what they find out is that they are no regular, ordinary orphanage. They are a farm. They grow up to believe they are leaving the orphanage to find a happy family, when in reality they are leaving the orphanage to be killed, to be eaten. And that's where I'm going to leave this off. And that is all pretty much set up within, I don't know, 1/4 of the first volume. So I highly recommend this. After that, shit gets crazy. What can I compare this to? I will compare it to Death Note. I won't say Death Note because there's a Reaper and they're writing names down in a book, but I will compare it to Death Note, whereas this is very psychological and the plot twists are like everywhere. Like they don't stop coming. There's a lot of reading to do. Now, of course, it's manga, but sometimes you got manga that's like a lot of pictures, a lot of action, and then you have manga that's like, God damn, is this like was I assigned this book to read in college? But let me tell you, like, it is so good. I've been staying up until 7 a.m. every night just reading. I've recommended this to a lot of my friends, and they're like, Cryy. Thank you. I'd kiss your nipples because this recommendation was... And I'm like, dude, I know. You're welcome. No need to do that, though. Check it out. You will not regret it. This is amazing. And it's amazing. The second manga that I want to recommend, and I actually just read this an hour before making this video, and I was like, let me add this to the list. This is called Magical Girls Apocalypse. Now, I believe there are other Magical Girl books. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, Magical Girls, Cryy. Are you trying to tell us something? No, not at all. This shit, like, don't let it fool you. This is not okay. This is about magical girls, but this is fucked. This is probably the most, well, I don't want to say the most fucked up. Yeah, I want to say that it's the most fucked up of the 3 mangas that I just recommended, or that I'm going to recommend. This one is by far the most gruesome, gory, of the 3. The Promised Neverland, I would say, has the most story to it, the most depth, and it's the most psychological. Probably the one that you will find the most interesting. But this one right here is like, if you're looking for something gory with action and just like, you want to go to a dark place, boom. After reading it for an hour, I'm going to sum it up. I don't feel like this is spoilers compared to the last one. I mean, yeah, it's spoilers, but it's like not ridiculous spoilers. Now, with volume 1, there wasn't too much depth to it, but like it's entertaining, it's interesting. A guy who's 16 years old, he's in high school, he wakes up, he goes to school, like usual, another ordinary day, but he's tired of this. He's like, dude, I wish that every day wasn't the same. Every day wasn't boring. Little did he know, he was about to get his wish. While in class, taking a test, he looks out the window and sees his gym teacher in the field get his head bashed in, actually no, not bashed in, exploded by a loli, a magical girl. He's pretty shook. Goes to take a piss, tries to, wrap his mind around this and say, maybe it was just a dream. Goes back to his classroom, and the loli has now broke through the window of the class and exploded every one of his classmates' heads. It's a bloodbath. What we know so far, what I know so far, is that there is a ring in the sky that has summoned a bunch of magical girls, and all they say is magical. Anyone they kill is shoving their hand up a woman, and the hand comes out the mouth. So it's gruesome, and they show it all. It's fucked up, and it's amazing. It's very gory, very gruesome, and if you aren't into that, you won't be ready for this, but if you like horror, spooky, creepy, gory stuff like me, you will love this. Now, at first, I saw the cover and I was like, miss me with that shit. This looks like some kiddie shit. I don't like this. After reading it, I'm like, honestly, I feel like they should have chosen a better cover to get people more interested. Maybe it's just me, just preference. But like seeing this, I would have never even thought to really open this book. And I'm glad I did, because this is... Recommendation number 3, I don't have a physical copy of it. I don't know if a physical is available. This is a Korean manga. They have a specific name. Sorry if I piss you off because I don't pronounce it right. I believe it's called a manhwa or something like that. This one is called Sweet Home. Now, I first found out about this through the Anime Man, who recommended it through a sponsored video. Wow, sponsored? Not all sponsored videos are bad. In fact, I think they reached out to me, but I was like, I can't do a manga video on my channel. Like, I'm a video gaming channel. And now here we are, fast forward. I just don't give a shit. This one is also made by the guy that did Bastard. A lot of people know about that one. I don't. I haven't read it. But anytime I mention Sweet Home, everyone's like, you need to read Bastard. Oh, you mean the guy that made Bastard? So I will read Bastard one day. But Sweet Home is available on webtoons, I know that, so you can read it for free. You download the webtoons app, you see a lot of self-published work. You can even get your own shit on there, and it's just really good. It's good to check out independent artists and just a lot of stuff. This one is about a kid who, I guess he's pretty much a NEET, stays in his room all day. He's always on the PC, but he's also kind of a piece of shit. Like someone that will write nasty YouTube comments and troll people. He's pretty rude to his parents as well. Anyway, one day his life turns upside down. His family dies in a car crash. He is forced to be removed from his comfort zone as a NEET that stays in his room all day to someone who now has to move out, get an apartment, probably get a job, live a life like a regular human, take part in society. Now he does have some money, of course, from his parents dying, but that will only last so long, so eventually, yes, he has to get a job. This is truly forcing him out of his comfort zone. It's kind of a wake-up call. Once he moves into this apartment complex, things just take a turn for the worst, kind of like the apocalypse just happens. Here we have gruesome resurrected people, ravaging, ripping people apart in the nastiest ways. This one's pretty gory, but it's not on the level of Magical Girl, but it's still definitely pretty gory. These people turn into actual monsters, and they don't all look the same. Like, there are lots of different monsters, and it's happening all over. So from there, it's pretty much a story of survival. Now there's more depth to it, there's more plot twist, there's definitely a lot more story to this one, but that would be getting into major spoilers. But the world is in shambles, and if you like spooky, creepy monster stuff, this one is it. I would say when it comes to all three, which one is the most psychological mindfuck? That would be The Promised Neverland. Which one is the most gruesome? That would be Magical Girl. Which one is the most creepy, has the most tense moments, the one that will probably, I was going to say the one that makes you feel the most anxious, but I take that back. That's like The Promised Neverland as well. This one just, it keeps you on edge in a different way than The Promised Neverland. Kind of like the on edge that a scary movie would keep you. Whereas The Promised Neverland is like, I don't know, that just really messes with the head. But this one is like what's around the corner kind of tense. So those are the 3 mangas that I recommend you read for the month of October. Actually, I recommend you read these whenever. So if you're watching this video in like, I don't know, 2020, you should still read them. You'll have a lot more catching up to do, but you should still read them. Promise Neverland if you want something to really follow for the story, psychological, and something that's so good it was published in Shonen Jump, and it's actually getting an anime. Magical Girls for that gruesome, crazy bloodbath, and Sweet Home because it's just very eerie. Something you should read when you're going to bed to creep yourself out a little bit more. Thanks for watching, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. See you soon, friends.